Hello, everyone. Welcome to Style Esports. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by TDS, and here we are in picks and bans of game number one of the featured match for this evening. Royal Griffin Majesty versus MSU Blue. Here we are in the Zon division at the round season 13 round one of playoffs. Here they're ready to get their first game underway. We're ready to get them here as well. The winners of this game will move on to play RCG Abyssal Nightmare, and the losers will go down to play Spacey Groove. And we are both ready to get this underway. TDS, how excited are you? We've got the picks and bans underway already, and it's pretty spicy. What do you got to say about this so far?
I saw Blitzcrank, and honestly, I'm already excited. So hear me out. I don't know why you would pick Blitzcrank when there's already an Ezreal on the enemy team, but I respect it. I want to see blood. I want to see Blitzcrank pulling someone out of the way. But now they picked Morgana, so they messed up my desires.
Yeah, I mean, this is already the lane to counter Blitzcrank for sure, right? Like Morgana and
Yep.
Ezreal, if you time your E correctly, you get to be on the other side of that Blitzcrank hook and not get hooked. But it's a mechanical thing that maybe these folks don't have. Who knows? But Morgana will be able to help you out with that scenario as well. You got two slippery characters. It's gonna be hard for Blitzcrank to grab onto in lane, but definitely a volatile character that's sure to blow the game open if Royal Griffin Majesty is not careful.
And it also makes it interesting now to me because having the Ezreal Morgana, to me, it looks like a really safe lane. Realistically, you have the safety of the Black Shield as well as the Arcane Shift, so you can try and survive without the help of the jungler. That opens up now to have a much more aggressive top laner or mid laner that you can try and repeat gank consistently with the Sejuani and try and get ahead as far as possible. I think that would be a pretty interesting approach that Royal Griffin Majesty can try and look for, but there's a lot of bans for solo laners.
Yeah, for sure. As we kind of get the casual, a lot of folks will do this. Well, they'll pick their jungler and their bottom lane in kind of like the first half, and then save their solo laners for the counter picks in the second half here. Now, luckily for Royal Griffin Majesty here and also MSU Blue, both of them have picked relatively flexible solo laner slash jungler here. So Sejuani and Trundle can both go into the top lane if they want to, but with this hawk in here, I don't think we're going to see Trundle in the top lane. It looks like we're probably going to see Cassante.
Hey, maybe we do. I would never discount flex picks, but it is going to be the Cassante. I'm excited to see it. The last time we saw it, I think it was on Style as well.
Yeah.
It destroyed pretty much and was banned in the next game. So we're going to get a second chance to look at him. I actually think it was against the Shen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be fun seeing how it performs, how this lane matchup goes. But this means to me that they need another source of damage from Royal Griffin Majesty as well as MSU, because I don't expect these two champions to be their main or their secondary damage dealers, especially with champions like Sivir and Ezreal that, yes, they can deal a lot of damage, but they take a little bit of time to ramp up. And it's also better to try and have someone that can be a bit more pesky than just the Sivir and the Ezreal. The picture, I think, not a bad choice. And in the mid lane, MSU could look for something like a Syndra to try and contest in later stages of the game.
Yeah, for sure. I like the Victor here. Oh, and it's gonna be answered by the Syndra, like you kind of
Is it?
predicted
Yes.
here. So we're gonna see a pretty straightforward draft here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I would say that this is pretty fair League of Legends that's being thrown in back and forth here. This is like some pretty honest League of Legends 2 comps that we've got here. Even Cassante is more of a is a fairly standard League of Legends champion. I don't think we have anything super out of the ordinary here. We got two front to back
Maybe.
comps. We have a lot of protection for the 80 carries here. What do you think of both these comps now that we're about to go into champion select here?
Like you're pointing out, feels like both of these comps pretty straightforward in their approach. They have front to back team fighting champions that can do a lot. Royal Griffin Majesty maybe a little bit much more poke thanks to the Ezreal, the Morgana, and the Victor. These two champions can poke from a safe distance, so it's not that bad. I would say the main wildcard that I see is the Blitzcrank, because even though he is good enough for these situations of team fighting compositions, he is a wildcard. He wants to try and hook champions out of the way. He wants to try and create some chaos in how he approaches to help approach certain fights for MSU. So I'm expecting to see much more action from the Blitzcrank and try and make the team be at ease in a lot of situations. Hopefully he can pull off a lot of these champions, but so far I think I'm expecting to see front-to-back team fighting from both of these teams.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely agree with it as well. We have some strong split pushing power, I'd argue, as well. Especially because Shen does tend to build that Titanic Hydra and sit in side lanes for a very long time. Once again, Shen is in that class of champion that can build, is on kind of like the borderline of straight tank or bruiser, right? Where you can build him just straight defensively and he still operates relatively fine. But I doubt we'll see that this game. Just because they already have some strong defenses for their team as well with the Morgana and the Victor. You know, you're just going to need a little bit more damage here, especially on the physical end, with like a vast majority of your champions already having some good magic damage here. Even Ezreal is mixed.
Now that you bring it up, it is kind of more magic damage based on the side of Royal Griffin Majesty, because even though Ezreal is supposed to be the 80 damage dealer, he does deal a bit of his damage as magic damage, and you have to be careful about that. Any bad advantage that you can give MSU can be turned into a lot of magic resist, and that can put a damper into what Royal Griffin Majesty maybe wants to try and achieve. So I would try and put attention onto that, but if not, I think that their composition should work fine enough with their range, and having a lot of these two tanks that can face check, especially with the Stand United and the Black Shield, can be really important in certain situations where you are not sure what the Blitzcrank may be.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good to see for sure. I'm also excited once again to see the Cassante locked in here. You know, we talked about it just a little bit here. We have seen it once before in Style Esports. Cassante is a champion that once he pops his ultimate, he does lose all of his resistances and gains it in attack damage. His health becomes Omnivamp. His armor and magic resist becomes attack damage. So it'll be interesting to see of how this top lane is going to play out for sure. I mean, Shen, once again, can build defensive, can build more into Bruiser as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays against the Cassante, especially because Cassante is a champion similar to Riven and Aatrox, where you want to spam that Q, and every Q has like a new thing that it does. And, you know, he can press his W in between his Q and it does something else. It's a whole... Cassante does a lot.
Does a lot, but can die a lot as well. Like, this champion feels like it's designed to either destroy you and be in your face consistently, or be what he believes he wants to be. Something like that. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but like, he is all in or nothing, essentially.
Yeah.
And I like that concept. I think that at least it fits into the idea of top laners that they need to be more towards what their role brings. Because so far, I think the top lane has been pathetic, to say it like that, without trying to imply anything. But it just feels like the image of top lane is not at its best at this moment. And I think Cassandra maybe can change that.
Yeah. I mean, Shen should be able to deal with some of the auto attacks, at least from Cassante.
Yeah.
But if Cassante is spamming that Q, you know, he should be able to get around the Shen Dome fairly easily. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, we don't really have a whole lot of data on Cassante and his positive matchups, right? But for the most part, like, I think we know generally what he's going to look like. He's like a weird mix between like Aatrox and Olaf, right?
Yeah.
Those are like the two things that come to mind, right? He wants to be landing those Qs over and over. But then his ultimate is basically old Ragnarok, right? He gets rid of his defenses and gains a bunch of offenses. So that's going to be something to keep our eyes on for sure. The mid lane, I think we already talked a little bit about that, and I feel like there's not a whole lot to talk about because I feel like it's mostly going to be a snooze fest. Do you think you agree with that? Like, these two are trying to just gain stacks and upgrade their abilities.
So at least with if it was old Syndra, I would say there's more to focus on because she can be a bully and she can get easy solo kills early on. But realistically, with the changes, I think that Syndra shouldn't be that aggressive nor that kill heavy, just because like the matchup doesn't feel like it should be like that. Unless you commit a pretty big mistake as the Victor or as the Syndra in the same vein, there shouldn't be any big kills or big action happening. So I like you're saying, I don't want to call it a snooze fest because as a mid laner, I hate that. But yes, it is.
Yeah, for sure. Is then in the bot lane, I think we already did a brief overview of that matchup there. Ezreal and Morgana definitely are going to be well positioned to play against this Blitzcrank here. Not only is Arcane Shift going to be, or Essence Shift rather, is a very good ability to deal with Blitzcrank Hook, but so is Black Shield. So it's going to be a little bit of a hard time for Blitzcrank to really get some solid hooks here, but we should be really looking at the fact that Sivir should be able to shove the wave a whole lot. So,
Yeah.
there's going to be a whole lot of factors here that Blitzcrank is not going to be as effective in lane, but he's still going to be a menace once this mid to late game happens for sure, because it just adds a whole lot of volatility to the map.
Yep. I think that is pretty much what should be expected out of
Mm-hmm.
what we're seeing so far from or what we're seeing in this comes from both teams.
Yeah, for sure. But with that, we're going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be on the Rift of game number 1 of our featured match for this evening, Royal Griffin Majesty versus MSU Blue. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by TDS. Here we are on the Rift of game number 1 of our featured match for this evening. We have the MSU Blue on the red side. We've got Royal Griffin Majesty on the blue. We are ready to get these two teams underway, and we've got a bit of an invade coming out here at level 1 here, but it looks like it might have been sniffed out. So it looks like they're just going to be able to back away here. Bam, 2300 looking for a hook. No hook this time, so they might be able to turn it around here. That's already some good slow on a Dr. Goon, but Smax has taken pretty low here. Let's see if they're looking for more Dark Binding. They're going to be knocked towards the team, but I don't think you wanted to do that. Ezreal is going to pick up first blood here. Smax is taken incredibly low, flashing forward. Amarok is going to be able to find the next kill. Dark Binding number 2 is huge. Flash forward Q from Ezreal doesn't find it. Bam, 2300 walks away by the skin of their teeth. 2 kills for Royal Griffin Majesty early on in this game.
Could have been 3, but I don't think you're sad if you take those 2 kills to start out. And I think the most important part, it's the 2 members that collect those 2 kills. It's Victor and Ezreal. Your 2 carries getting so early on with this sort of kills is super important. Also the fact that Victor has a passive that stacks with kills, so everything working out amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, that's 50. Ooh, already getting a Dark Binding in the bottom lane with Sivir against Sivir here as well. This is really big. This is the time where if you are Morgana, you want to be able to pressure Sivir as much as possible. She doesn't have that spell shield available, so you can get as much as you want. So yeah, this is a really great time to do so.
And it was also during the time where Blitzcrank was essentially non-existent because he was back in base. So you can take this sort of approaches. Now with level 2, this is the thing that we're talking about.
Good hook. The Dark Binding is good as well. Bam's got nowhere to go, and they got the level 2 already. Look at how much damage this Blitzcrank has already taken up in the top lane, down in the bot lane there. As we did a little bit of research, turns out really Cassante favored or Shen favored up in the top lane here. It's about a 46 to 43% win rate difference for the top lane matchup there. Definitely Shen favored. So we'll see how it plays out here. But in bot lane,
they're taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah. They're going to be in some trouble because here goes Trundle in from the side here, but Ezreal does not care. They're looking for the kill on the Bam here. Might be able to do so. The Q goes off in a bit of a wide direction here. They might be able to find a little bit of getting out of here, but Your Deads is going to be able to pick up a double kill down to the bot lane there. And I still think it's favored towards the blue team here because take a look at how Ezreal cashed in all 3 of those kills in the 13 CS as well. He's got a Sheen and a Tier.
This is an aggressive game, to say the least. Both teams are trying to overkills. Like you're pointing out, I don't think that this benefits the side of MSU in almost any way. Yes, the Trundle gets those 2 kills, but Ezreal is so far ahead of the Sivir right now. Trying to go for a roam right now. I like the attempt.
Yeah, it's really going to have... This Trundle is basically going to have to live down in this bottom lane in order to make it worth it here because this Sivir is just so far behind in comparison to the Ezreal right now. Not only are they down a whole lot in CS 13, they're also down 3 kills, right? This is a lot of gold in favor of Ezreal right now.
You can see the gold diff, in all honesty, and it's 2,200 to 1,200. So 1,000 gold already admitted for in favor of this Ezreal. And it's not going to get that much better. Oh, Trundle.
Oh, yeah, good stun. Going to be taking them pretty low here. Amarok over the wall here looking for some more. There's going to be Fox coming in from the side here. And Your Dead is going to live up to his name for himself. You're stunned again. Dr. Goon looking for some more. Going to knock them close to him, but Flash is going to get them away. Shark XYZ is going to be able to get out of there. And they're going to pick up 2 more kills out of the top half of the map.
Oh, it's not enough.
Whoa.
He was packing in a ward, but that's not enough damage. Old Syndra kills there, but it's not Old Syndra, it's New Syndra, and that's a 2 for nothing. They don't lose anyone, they get another 2 set of kills, and it's on the Trundle, the champion that we were talking about, gets the kills from the bot side play. That's not what you want to happen from MSU. In comparison, the side of Rojal is just getting everything that they want in every place in the map.
Yeah, Royal Griffin Majesty not letting off the brakes right now. They're doing so well in this early game here, and they're getting advantages across the map. Now, Shen is a little bit behind in CS at this stage, but that gold is definitely going to be evened out a lot more with that there.
Oh.
As now, seeing Cassante coming to the mid lane. Amarok is in some trouble. No mana left on this Victor. Trying to get to the other side here, but that's going to be Dr. Goon picking up the kill in the mid lane there. Victor goes down.
It's a good kill. That's the sort of thing that you want to see, especially when you have a champion that against this no mobility squishy champions can just push them out of place and try and set up. So really nice kill they get. It's very little compared to what they've lost so far, but it's a starting step. And you need to try and pull off this as much as possible, because if not, the game is going to get out of hand really quick.
Yeah. As now we finally got maybe a little bit of a time to talk about where we're at in the game. 6 minutes into this game, we already see 9 kills total and 1.9 thousand gold, nearly 2,000 in the lead. Is Royal Griffin Majesty at this stage, but don't count MSU out just yet. They do have some solid scalers on their team and some folks stacking up that tier as well. So just keep them. Just remember this gold lead is nice, but damage still needs to be respected.
100%. As long as you don't outright lose the game, if you get to 30 minutes, the difference is not going to be that big because you have a 3-item Sivir and a 3-item Syndra. The issue is trying to get to that point, right? And it's all on what you can accomplish as the Trundle so far. He got a pretty good level, a pretty good bot lane gang that, yes, Ezreal gets 2 kills, but those are the kind of things that you have to look forward to as much as possible. And I hope that the Trundle keeps on trying those things.
Here we go. Shark XYZ gets the taunt onto Dr. Goon here. He does have that level 6 available. Going to knock them towards the turret here. Shark XYZ taking incredibly low here. Going to put up the dodge zone for just a little bit longer, but dies underneath the turret. RG smacks, goes down, and a double kill for the Cassante up in the top lane.
Cassante is shutting up the doubters, pretty much winning the 2v1 by himself, having so much health to survive, and play that out really nice. Set up the combo super well executed. Now, it is the strong point of the map, so they need to play on this side if you're MSU. The bot lane is pretty much something that you should just hope to farm. Play for this strong Cassante. That is your win condition at this point. Oh.
Yeah, for sure. As gets the hook on Ezreal, uses the Essence Ship to get away. It's not going to be able to take it down here. Holy moly, the damage! Oh, Purple Cow taken incredibly low there, nearly goes down.
That was as close as it can get. But Sivir pushed away from lane once again, behind 20 minions, now has to back once again after this wave gets pushed. It's disaster for the Sivir in the bot lane. Purple Cow is suffering so much.
Yeah, Purple Cow not having a good time down there for sure. As you know, they're a Sivir that was forced to take cleanse here as well. It's really not a fun time for them down there, but you know, at this stage, you really got to get this Sivir back online. But luckily, if Purple Cow falls behind, like they still have on the hunt here to still give some good mobility to their team, which, you know, really, really likes that movement speed, right? Trundle and Cassante will really love that movement speed come mid-game here.
Like you're pointing out, Cassante is one of those champions that with mobility doesn't have to commit every beat of mobility that he has, and in comparison can just try and play it off as he can. So I think that having that extra utility in your AD carry certainly going to work out a lot. And if Sivir is behind, at least this is positive to use.
Yeah, as we're probably going to see a Trinity Force coming out from the Ezreal this time, but Shark XYZ hooks comes in from Bam, who's roamed up into the top lane here, but Smacks is coming in from the side here. Might be able to turn it around to get knocked towards him, throws out the stun on a Bam here. They're going to be able to get away. Amarok is coming from the side here. They're still looking for more in this fight, but here comes Fox up from the mid lane here. They're not going to be able to follow up through this. Just going to have to keep walking away, but a good stun on Amarok is going to force out the stun here. They're going to try to turn it around, trying to get a little bit more. This fight keeps jumping back and forth here. Dr. Goon taking incredibly low, stunned up. Here comes Jordan's in from the side. The damage is good. The dodges are better, and you're dead. Is going to be the one picking up the kill there. Is down to the bot lane. RG Devout looking for something onto Purple Cow here underneath the turret. Has gotten the stun. Looking for more. Ezreal's taking them incredibly low, but the Boomerang Blade is going to be able to get it, tanking up the entire entire minion wave. Ezreal's in some trouble, but going to be able to finish off the kill 1-for-1 down to the bot lane, trying to get a little bit more gold into their team as this gold continues to even out, and now the kills are evened out as well, and the first Rift Herald is secured by MSU Blue.
As an overall play, 2-for-1, because they do get the kill into the picture as well, I think really important for MSU to be able to pull off this sort of plays. They also get the objective advantage, getting that Rift Herald. And yes, the Silver may have died, but she's already kind of in a spot where her dying doesn't impact the state of the map anymore than getting something else on the other side. K'Sante is still getting quite strong. You're denying any potential plays from the rest of the map from the side of Royal, and this way you can try and close up the gold div, which they are doing.
Yeah, for sure. As now we're it's just I think this is the time where we're going to see a little bit of a cooldown here because there's no big objectives that both teams are really prioritizing. It's 11 minutes in. We haven't seen first Drake get taken, and I feel like it's just because it's Cloud Drake and people are like, oh, it's just Cloud Drake, it's whatever. So, yeah, but it's like you get it so that the next Drake spawns. Like these individual Drakes are not going to be as powerful as now. Ezreal in some trouble here. Bam, gonna walk immediately up there. Good flash away here. Bam is now in some trouble, taken below half HP, and here comes the rest of the blue squad down into the spot lane here. Sejuani is here. They've spotted out Bam on the other side of this alcove. He's got nowhere to go. This Blitzcrank is gonna go down. Ezreal knocked into the air. They're just gonna gift the kill away. Bam, 2300 goes down.
Sadly, no one else gets an assist, but realistically, I think you'd rather that than giving up on a kill for this Ezreal. Already 5-1 with that kill, you certainly want to give him the extra gold. And as soon as he completes the first item, I believe that you can begin moving him around the map. The dragon is now getting started, so they heard you, Shinkari. They can finally start it and just try and take it off the map as soon as possible.
Yeah. Cloud Drake is the best individual Drake you can get because it means that you won't get Cloud Salt. Amarok, though, in some trouble, dodges the Blitzcrank hook real well. Not going to be able to get pulled this time, so going to be able to retreat to the safety of his jungler here. Not going to be able to take him down this time, but we have to cast our eyes to that top lane there because Trundle is looking for this Shen here. Dr. Goon does have that knockback here, but take a look at the mid lane here.
Oh,
Fox is taken incredibly low here. The Glacial Prison does not land, but might have a way out of this fight. Neither does the Dark Binding, but Amarok is going to be able to find the kill on the Blitzcrank there with the Gravity Storm there. So you're going to have to back away as Trundle finally backing away from that top half of the map there. As once again, Ezreal and Sivir just duking it out down to the bot lane here.
They are doing, I think, Purple Call doing a pretty good job at least at fighting back, but in the mid lane, I love the play. They commit for it. Yes, Syndra survives, but you get another kill for this Victor, which at this point I think he already has his first augment, so certainly keeping up in pace towards what he wants to do. And for the side of Royal, really important that they are not allowing for the tempo of the game to get much more so against them.
Yeah, is Shark XYZ here trying to fight 1v1 against Dr. Goon, but the damage is just pretty high from K'Sante here, and he hasn't even popped his passive. So this is going to be, or popped his ultimate rather, is you see Shelly charging onto the top lane here. The last two plates go down, and Red team is going to be able to secure first turret, finally tying up the gold in this game here.
Any bit of gold is certainly perfect for them, and getting that on the K'Sante is looking like the best tool for them to try and play it out. Now, opting, I do find this interesting though. Opting for the Sunfire Aegis, I don't think it's necessarily. Ooh!
Okay, that's going to be a good pick there from the Ezreal onto the Sivir. Real good timing there to catch them off guard so they don't get to use that spell shield. So another time where, you know, Sivir is just taken off the map here. So Ezreal just gets more free time down in this bottom lane here.
More gold, more value. This Ezreal is amazing. Ginga is so far ahead, and they're putting their eggs onto this Ezreal. But I like that they are opting into this plan. Shows that they have confidence in Ginga to try and carry out the game.
Yeah, it's really important that they have this because it's one of their only sources of AD damage at this point, right?
Exactly.
We're seeing maybe an Iceborne Gauntlet coming down from Shark XYZ here, and he's pretty far behind. But the rest of the team is going to be dealing. Oh, excuse me. Is going to be dealing pretty significant magic damage. So it's really important to make sure that this Ezreal pops off here, because otherwise you're going to start the enemy team is going to be really easy to itemize against you here.
Yeah, like we were pointing about in draft, right? If they have enough magic resistances, oh wait, Ezreal, you need
Well,
to be
Ezra,
careful
I don't
here.
think you want this, bud. I
Yeah,
mean, he's getting the
or
damage.
maybe.
Dr. Goon's not really contesting it. He's just
Ooh,
letting it happen here. That's Glacial Prison coming across here. Gonna stun him up there, but gonna walk away. All right, so Cassante pressured off this bottom lane turret just for a little bit here, but not quite able to grab it just yet. So,
I'm not one that likes to harp too much on this, but Bam needs to step up his hook game. I don't think he has hit enough hooks so far to really showcase the power of the Blitzcrank pick.
yeah.
Obviously, Morgana is a champion that stops you from doing that much, but you still need to at least hit it.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that that RG Devout didn't go for a stopwatch at this stage, right? Once you hit level 6, I feel like stopwatch and Zonia's Hourglass is like one of your, if not your best item as Morgana, especially on support, right? Like I feel like foregoing the Mythic here and just going right for the Zonia is probably good. And your Dead's trying to catch out this Sejuani there. We do also have Dragon spawning up in about a minute here. It's Infernal Drake, so it means that we either have Hextech, Mountain, or Ocean Soul on the map for today. As Purple Cow is in some trouble up in the top lane. Shark XYZ is down in the bot lane here. Ezreal might be in some trouble here, but they're trying to turn around onto Devout. Good stun coming out, not going to land onto Dr. Goon, but it is going to give them some time and space away, as that's going to be a big Ezreal ultimate coming across 2 members here and picking up the kill on the Trundle. That's really big. 40 seconds now down here. Should be able to get some time to set up around this Drake. And I know, actually, you know, now that I say that, I don't think they even need to. Take a look at the vision down to this bottom half of the map here. That's all blue.
You have complete control over this objective. Yes, the Sivir is along the top side, and yes, the Sivir was getting killed. But like you're pointing out, because they have so much control, they really are not scared about trying to force anything. They may even die.
Oh, yeah.
Out.
Smacks here going in between the 2 mid-turrets here just to pressure Fox off of this mid turret here. Hook comes out onto Sejuani here. She's taken really low. She's gonna go down to this Sejuani, or excuse me, so many S names. Syndra ultimate. There's Sivir, Sejuani, and Syndra all on the same map here, and it's.
And Sivir.
Is there any other S names? I guess Cassante, but it's got a nice consonant to like give it Shen. But Shen has the SH sound, so not too bad. Hook onto Victor here. He's going to get knocked into the air. Purple Cow finally getting themselves a little bit more breathing room, a little bit more gold. Finally puts themselves more onto the scoreboard here.
And those 2 kills turn into immediate control over the dragon. They have a lot of vision control, but vision control is useless when you're dead. Because you have no room to actually say anything in the map. And at this point, maybe there's an attempt in the steal. I like that you go for the play here, but nothing ends up happening. This is something that the side of Royal cannot fall into. You're ahead in the game, yes. You're strong, yes. But you cannot give windows for the side of MSU to try and come back into this game, because their champions are no joke either.
Yeah, and it's also, you're ahead and you're playing well, but
yeah,
it's not like you can make these insanely greedy plays. The gold lead is not that high. Right. And even if you were to look at, even if you were to not have like the screen that we have that tells you exactly how much gold, right? You're only up 2 kills. You didn't get first turret. You're tied in Drakes. Like, you have a gold lead for sure. And your Ezreal is real strong, but your whole team is not that far ahead. Sejuani pushing Syndra underneath the tier 2 turrets might be able to get you some prio in mid lane, but they stayed for too long. And now Dr. Goon down in the bot lane fighting Amarok here, taking a whole bunch of damage and might be able to find the kill. Re-engages after the Chaos Storm goes down here, but Amarok are looking for a little bit more. Dr. Goon loses those defenses. That's going to be the Stand United coming through and shut down onto Cassante for Amarok here. Going to be able to get a nice chunk of gold into that Victor's pockets.
I was honestly so worried for Amarok in that play, because realistically that shouldn't have worked out. Oh, wait, Sivir. I want to see if the Sivir dies here.
Yeah, Sivir taken real low here. I don't know if they get killed, because here comes And Your Dead's in from the side. Going to use that Glacial Prison to maybe get them some space here, but they're slowed down so much. The rest of the team is coming to answer here, but they're too far. And this is just more of the same here from RG Smacks, just playing so aggressively when they can't.
So the thing is, the play is not necessarily that bad if you have immediate teammates coming in. Oh wait, the play.
Okay,
not again.
we're staying up in the top lane. RG Devout is going to be the sacrificial lamb here. They're going to be able to find one kill. Shark XYZ comes into the top lane here, but Ezreal still in some trouble here, but giving himself some good spacing. Ultimate comes across. Arcane Barrage doing a whole bunch of damage here. Going to be healed up by the Trundle here with Smite, and they might be able to finally get away, but they had to bank on those 2 teleports to do so.
They almost turn around that fight. They almost made it work out. But at the end, the members are able to survive. Nobody else dies from the side of MSU, which is crucial. But Royal answering, I like how they answered this play. Because they were down in numbers, but they still had the damage to play it off. Ezreal, your main carry at this point of the game, was still lag. And you played accordingly with him. Now, they still need to be respectful. Because like we were pointing out before that play happens, they are not respecting the damage nor the potential from the side of MSU. But they still can go for plays as long as they understand this.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. They're playing as if they're 10K gold ahead. And they have a lead, but they definitely are not so far ahead that you can completely disrespect their damage. Now, Trundle here, definitely caught out. This is probably going to be an easy pick here. Andrew Deads is going to be slowed down here, stunned for an eternity. Not even the Trundle ultimate will be able to save you here. Shark XYZ once again against Dr. Goon here, and this is good because the rest of the team is coming through. Dr. Goon doesn't really have a whole lot of places to go. He's going to have to look for something here. Knocks him through the wall, going to give himself some space, but he's walked right into RG Devout here. Can he get away? He's does not have that Dark Binding. Arcane Barrage comes across here, going to have to look for something. There's the Dark Binding. Amarok is going to be able to find that kill. Shark XYZ is hooked in by Blitzcrank, but not a whole lot of follow-up from the rest of the red team here, so they're just going to be able to grab that kill, walk away. But, oh man, they're not really able to convert that kill into anything here.
But at the same time, that is a stark difference with these 2 kills compared to what we saw previously. These 2 kills are followed up by the team. They have the numbers advantage. They can deal with the enemy really easily. And even if it doesn't turn into immediate objective advantage, it's still control over the map that you value a lot, especially against a Blitzcrank team. So all in all, I think that this is a play that can be an incentive for the side of Royal to keep pulling off this sort of plays.
Yeah, for sure. As now we're seeing some more items come through here. We've got the Shadow Flame completed for Victor here. A very powerful item, going to give him a whole lot of magic penetration here. But now Ezreal's in some trouble here. Snax is doing a good job body blocking this Ezreal away, and they're trying to keep Gaiv onto this Ezreal here, but he's done so much damage, peeling backwards here. They're now trying to target Sejuani here, but that's going to be the Stand United coming through, and Shark XYZ is now in the fight. Can they get more? Ezreal's going to be able to find one. Victor finds the second. They're looking for a little bit more as Chaos Storm comes across here. They're looking for Cassante, flashing over the wall to follow, knocking them towards him here. Shen, the gravity wall is going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer. Triple kill for the Ezreal here. 4 in total. Purple Cow finally respawns, but they have nothing to come back to here, and they are just going to take down the first Ocean Drake of the game.
RG Devout is a madman, and I love him so much for that. That was so aggressive from the Morgana, but was so greatly done. And I also kind of want to give context to why MSU opted into forcing that fight so heavily. Ezreal uses Arcane Shift in mid lane. That's an immediate opening for you to go for the play. Because if it works out, you either blow Flash or kill him immediately. If you kill Ezreal, that's pretty much 90% of the damage. Well, maybe too much. 75% of the current damage from Rojo out of the way, and you can win the fight. I like the idea. I understand the reasoning behind the attempt, but they are still too far behind. And the Sivir essentially was a non-factor in that fight. She was dead before she even attempted. She didn't die, realistically, but she was essentially dead when the fight happened.
Yeah. As now, RG Devout actually lands the Dark Binding there. Not going to be able to really follow up on it, so they're just going to have to back away here. As I'm still, you know, maybe I'm being too harsh here. Maybe I overvalue this item. But I feel like we should see a stopwatch for Morgana. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I think you're right.
Am I overvaluing
I think you're right, because Morgana should realistically die a lot of situations. Wait a second.
Yeah, got a whole lot of damage on the Fox here.
Yeah.
First to get away, but Arcane Barrage is going to be the one securing the kill there, as Dr. Goon once again Shark XYZ dueling down in the bot lane here. Might be able to find something around Purple Cow. Taken incredibly low. Goes down to the Chaos Storm up in the top lane here. And a whole lot of disjointed kills across the map here. Means that there's a lot of tempo for the blue squad. They're gaining control of this map. They're going right for Baron.
And makes complete sense. They get 2 kills on the carries. They have no teleports apart from Casantes. So they're just going to push for the Baron. And going a little bit back onto your point of the Morgana, because I feel like everything we saw was self-explanatory in a way. So it doesn't really matter too much if we talk too much about it. But Morgana should have the subwatch because realistically she should be dying much more than she has died so far. But the issue is that they are so far ahead that I feel like as long as you prioritize damage, because they don't have any resistances, it's just adding extra to what they have. Now she does get the stopwatch. I do think, like you're saying, she should have rushed Sonjas because that's more value realistically. But I understand why she didn't.
Yeah. I feel like at this stage, just because they were so far ahead, just continuing the pressure with damage is mostly fine, and you're going to get a whole lot of incidental damage from just that one Leandri's Anguish there. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. I feel like I might be a little too harsh with it, but as a support player and a person who enjoys Morgana sometimes, like, God, Zhonya's Hourglass is so good on Morgana. It's like there's like not a mythic that's like, oh yeah, you absolutely need this sometimes. And so I'm like, oh, just go the Zhonya's first. It's fine. Who cares?
Like on almost any mage, it's great, but on Morgana can be game winning sometimes because of how much value you can get out of it.
Now the siege on this mid turret begins. We have the Baron buff up here. They're going to have to rely on Sivir for this wave clear here. Not going to be too bad. She does have 2.5 items under her belt here. She's now 202 CS. Not bad for this stage of the game here, but they're doing a real good job of body blocking a lot of these abilities for this cannon minion here and just relying on that long range damage to just get onto this turret here. We finally have another wave. This turret is going down low. Are they going to start the fight? Dr. Goon is leading the charge at least, but it doesn't look like he wants to fully commit, so he's just going to back away as the turret falls.
They are taking it as slowly as possible, but as methodic as possible as well, trying to get as much done with this Baron buff. And I like that, especially because Shen is also pushing down. They have Sam United, so they have multiple waves pushing in already. They get the inhibitor. They can, I like this, move towards top lane, and then you still utilize the pressure from the Shen. It is slow, but it's a better way to approach it because you're safe that nothing bad is going to happen, and it doesn't give enough opportunity for Blitzcrank or Syndra to be able to get something going on you.
Yeah. Shark XYZ here in a bit of trouble as Trundle shows his head down in the bot lane here.
Ouch.
But, oh man, that Arcane Brush does a whole lot of damage. Oh my god, okay. Ezreal just does a lot of damage. Who'd have thought?
Ezreal does a lot of damage, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, who'd have thought that the 11 and 180 carry would do a lot of damage.
You would think it would be the picture with 3 items as well, but no.
Yeah.
It's 5 item Ezreal. 4 items.
It's the 3.5 item Ezreal here, who nearly has a what is that? That's the Blood Razor or whatever. I don't remember what it's called. And you're dead. Splashing forward here, Trundle looking really low. Might have bitten off a little bit more than he could have
sure about that.
There. Goes double kill down for the victor here. As now RG Smacks looking for Dr. Goon here. Does have that stun available. Dashes away after folks are trying to commit a little bit more to the Sejuani in the mid lane, who's escorting these super minions into the base here. They lost another turret up in the top lane. They're looking to get the kill onto the Sejuani here. Knocks them back into fight, but dodging around. Ezreal now looking for the kill on the Cinder here. Great Glacial Prison from downtown. Dr. Goon is going to be the only member left. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb here, trying to keep them away, but a stun is going to knock them backwards. It's now the team now works for another methodical kill. Purple Cow trying to live underneath the turret. Not going to be able to get away this time. Spell Shield is not going to protect you from the auto attacks of Shen. And now they're going to wail on the last inhibitor of the map here. And now this is going to be double super minions spawning here. And now, okay, there it is. Ezreal takes down the first kill there. Dr. Goon is now looking
Sent it.
next. He's going into the ultimate. He's going to get that attack
He
damage
tried.
through, but he's not going to be able to get down this time. That's a double kill for the Ezreal. Amarok is going to get that stand united. Game number 1 goes over to Royal Griffin Majesty.
And in a really good way. It started with the level 1, which, yes, kind of made the game go easier for the side of Rojal. But all in all, they played it really nicely. They had their win condition because of what was happening on the top side, committed to it, played around it, and it delivered. Ginga had an amazing game, and the team backed him up consistently.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this was a really well played game by Royal Griffin Majesty here for sure. Uh, I mean, my only problems with it is towards the mid game there, they were overestimating how powerful they were, taking insanely greedy moves. Like Smacks was just so far forward so many times, and like dying a lot of times when they really didn't have to. Right? They have the most deaths on their team, and that makes the most amount of sense from how Sejuani was playing that mid game there. You know, we saw that play underneath the tier between the two mid lane turrets looking for the Syndra. We saw that play that had to be salvaged by the rest of the team with double teleport up in the top lane there. You know, a lot of Royal Griffin Majesty playing that mid game there was like, hey, we're ahead. Let's do wild and crazy stuff. And it's like, I don't know if you have to do that.
It's a syndrome that you get when you're just in a high because you're ahead and you think that you can do anything.
Yeah.
So it does happen. Luckily, it didn't affect them enough that it was going to be game losing. But
Yeah.
it's certainly something to correct because looking into the next game, there may be a situation where they don't get that level 1 super advantage. And if you don't have that and you make this sort of mistakes, what do you do?
For sure. But with that, we're going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be in picks and bans of game number 2, Royal Griffin Majesty versus MSU Blue. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Style Esports. Here we are, game number 2. Picks and bans. MSU Blue has swapped sides, and with Royal Griffin Majesty here, so MSU Blue is going to be on their namesake blue side, and Royal Griffin Majesty is going to be on the red. We got game number 2 here. If you're joining us for the first time, Royal Griffin Majesty won game number 1 here. So now we're going to have MSU Blue try to turn this around for a game number 3. First pick here for them is going to be Leona. It might be answered by the Blitzcrank. TDS, what do you think?
Leona into Blitzcrank. First of all, I'm surprised they first picked Leona, not a champion that I think has that much priority. But I like their focus onto something that can disengage away from her. So anything like that is fine in my eyes. Alistar is a good option because you can disengage away from her. But you still need to have a pretty strong pairing. And you want to take away from the strong pairings with Leona as well, which are Kaisa, Tristana, Aphelios to a certain degree, and I'm trying to think, but there's another one, but I'm blanking on that. And Hecarim is a fine champion as well here.
Yeah. I agree for sure. My only stipulation with Alistar is you got to play boring. You got to play boring. That's how you play Alistar in this matchup. How boring are you willing to play? Because it doesn't look like RG Devout wanted to play that Morgana particularly boring. I don't think they were saving their Black Shield for anything. I don't think they were just using it when they were off cooldown to help out with engagements and using that Q as many times as possible, right? They weren't using it for any sort of like peel or anything. But Alistar into the Leona matchup has to be played boring.
Understandable. I think that if you're forced into a situation where you can disengage, I think Alistar would be much more ideal in that sense. And like you pointed out, maybe it's the best way to work this game because so far with these 3 picks, there's a lot of engage that you want to try and play against or away from. So I think that idea from Royal Griffin, so far at least with what they have, makes a bit of sense to me. Still, I like the adaptation from MSU this time around. I think that in the previous game they showcased that they do like to be the ones to commit to plays or force the plays to happen. And this gives them much more leeway in that. Like, they can be the ones that decide when a fight happens and how it happens.
Yeah, for sure. Is now we're seeing the Sejuani taken away from Royal Griffin Majesty here, especially after that Hecarim lock-in. We saw it play to much success in the previous game here, but definitely going to be a very hard front line, some decent utility coming out from the mid lane as well. So I'm expecting a lot of damage to come out from the AD carry role and the top lane role as well. So we'll probably, I would like to see maybe a Jhin in the bot lane, maybe a Felios as well. Callista is a good lock-in as well. That's going to be taken away here. But with so much tankiness, so much utility, I think you're just free to just kind of go the most heavy damage you can possibly get. Throw a Vayne in there. Jinx, who knows?
Pretty much. And Kalista was the other one I was thinking of. Another good AD carry with this sort of engaged sports. Ezreal also gets banned away, scared from Ginga's AD carry. Ezreal from last game. Understandable. I think that there's still other good options this game that would have been better than the Ezreal, just because I feel like with what you have, you want a much more damage-heavy AD carry than the Ezreal. But it's a champion that certainly feels safer. The Saya would have been the best option in my eyes, though, because you want to have anti-dive against what they have.
Yeah. We're still seeing more AD carry bans coming out here. We might see one more. All right, we're going to see the Gangplank being taken away from Royal Griffin Majesty here. Definitely not the Shen that we saw previously, but is a champion that Shark, I would assume Shark XYZ has some, at least some practice on. That's a little bit annoying to deal with for MSU Blue here. So let's see. They've got the first pick out of phase 2 here. What do you think we're going to see? Samira going to be locked in here.
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting that pick at all. So certainly Samira wasn't in my mind when they picked it. But works for what they have with the Alistar, the Hecarim. The only issue here is that you're essentially now playing butting heads into butting heads. You're going to crash and try and out team fight the opponent with what you're drafting with Samira here. And I think for MSU, that's probably the best they were hoping for, because now they are going to try and out team fight Rojo. And I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see how it works. I'm not sure if both teams are as excited as I am, but at least it gives for a lot of highlights this game.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of highlighty worth champions here. Kaisa going to be
Whoa.
locked in here, like you said, a very strong champion to pair with the Leona, and especially the Sejuani and Vex as well. Lots of dive here to work with MSU Blue and to protect the Kaisa once she presses that ultimate button. But Urgot going to be locked in here for MSU Blue. It's definitely an interesting champion. Not a whole lot of folks opt for that type of champion. Dr. Goon has some games on it this season here, but should not be. Yeah, he's got a few. Not exactly the most promising of win rates, but still, if it's a comfort champion and you feel confident, then you pick it every day of the week.
It's more the counter to Urgot. Now, I'm not versed in Urgot. I don't see him that much, so it's kind of hard to really know how effective he can be or not. I'm not sure Mordekaiser is the pick here, but it does provide good utility, and it also takes away a crucial member from a fight. If he ultimates Kaisa, that's your main damage dealer out of the fight. You may
Yeah.
lose the fight because you're missing out on such a big carry. Same for the Vex because it's one of the engage tools. So Mordekaiser may play a pivotal role this game, denying sources of damage from MSU Blue and making it so that Royal Griffin Majesty just has an easier time taking the fights.
Yeah, for sure. As now we're getting into picks and bans here. These two team compositions are looking once again pretty similar in terms of style to the teams we saw before. You know, we're seeing, some bruisers top, we're seeing some tanks in the jungle as well. We're seeing some heavy tanks in the bot lane, and then we're seeing some high damage AD carries with some relatively safe mid laners as well. I think this is going to be another fight, another like pretty standard, honest League of Legends here, front to back comps. What do you think?
I think that is kind of how you need to look at it. But I would add on top of that that depending on who gets ahead first, that's going to determine the game so much more than in the previous game. These are really, really snowball heavy kind of compositions because of the AD carries particularly, but also with other champions. Whoever gets an advantage can just snowball the game off of that advantage alone. And that's why I think that the first 10 to 15 minutes, maybe that's too graceful. 10 minutes, I think it's probably where we'll see the biggest action possible or the biggest source of fighting between the two teams to determine who gets ahead. And with that advantage, that lead, just try and roll over the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely going to come down. It's definitely going to come down to that as well, right? Because like some of these champions, I feel do real well in these first early levels, and especially this Leona Kaisa. Leona has some of the best level 2s out of any support down in the bot lane. Right, she is able to amplify a lot of Kaisa's damage, which is really important because Kaisa isn't at some good leads early, and she doesn't have a really good level 2. But when paired with someone that has some really solid base damage, or is even like Leona is able to amplify Kaisa's damage, is very, very potent in these first early levels. And especially against a Samira, who is a rather snowballing champion. Once she's ahead and she's able to pop off lots of damage with that R, it's very hard to stop her once she's gotten that big lead.
You can kind of argue the same with the Samira, right? Like,
yeah.
You can kind of say the same for the Samira, but that's what makes this AD carry matchup really interesting because they are of the same breed, of the same kind of champions. And you want to see this sort of champion spot heads because you pretty much can tell who, not the better player, but who the winner is early on. And that's kind of exciting to see a lot of the times.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is, once again, this is a bot lane I'm really looking forward to watching here. It's two very, like you said, it's on a bit of a knife's edge here. If Kaisa is able to get her early break points in order to upgrade her abilities, she starts to really hit some big power spikes very early on, and that's going to be very hard to deal with for the enemy team, right? Especially if she goes the collector route, where she's able to upgrade her Q so early on. So, it'll be interesting to see. The only thing left that I have to say about Royal Griffin Majesty is that they're pretty ultimate reliant for a lot of their damage. Right? Samira and Swain. Lots of AoE between the two of them, and really powerful. They're able to chain off multiple ultimates. But this whole team has to play around these ultimates a lot more than any other team would have.
I would say it's kind of similar for both sides because their ultimate value is so big, but certainly it feels much more so on the side of Rochelle just because of the Swain ultimate and then the Samira having that consistent damage kind of more chained to her ultimate,
Yeah.
right? So it makes sense to try and think like that. And Swain, like you're pointing out, I would make more focus on the Swain than on the Samira, if I'm honest, because I think that his ultimate really makes or breaks how Swain opts into fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean this is definitely going to be pretty powerful here from both sides. I mean, like I said, the Swain and the Samira are going to have lots of AoE. If anything, I'm just worried once again that there's so many big HP bars on MSU Blue that the Samira is not going to be able to really cut through them as much as she'd like. Like maybe we see like Samira taking the cut down mastery this time to get that little bit of extra maximum HP damage. Maybe we see just like a rush on the LDR, maybe after the Immortal Shield Bow. But there is going to have to be a lot of itemization changes here in order to make sure that Samira is going to be able to cut through the Leona, the Sejuani, the Urgot, and in some cases, even the Vex.
That at least to me makes it much more interesting watching out for the
Mm-hmm.
fight that we may end up
Yeah.
seeing, right? Because you kind of like the outline is already so apparent and so interesting to see that just adding fuel to it makes me think that the fights are going to be great to watch if we get to the fight, right? Like if there's another level one where one team just gets 1k gold
Yeah.
of lead, then the game I think probably it's not going to be that fun. But if not, it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's really it will really come down. Like I don't expect a level one here for sure. Like uh with
Before
the
level one.
Blitzcrank on your team, yeah, go for the level one. Right? Leona, eh, right? Like Zenith Blade is good, but like if Leona does not get like decent follow up after a Zenith Blade at level one, then like you are in a heap and help in a trouble, right? There is
Yeah.
not really any good level ones on either side here, so I'm probably going to expect a 5 point start for this.
It's great, like you're pointing out, if you have the follow up. I can see maybe
Mm-hmm.
Vex or Sejuani, maybe a
Yeah,
flash Q from the Leona just to target it even more. But like you're pointing out, level ones would be really weird to start off
yeah.
this game
I
from
think
both
with
sides.
that,
Both sides.
yeah, for sure. I think the last thing I wanted to ask you here is just, do you have a favorite coming into this game here? Do you have a team? Do you have a team or a team comp that you really like and you really want to see come out with a fat dub this time?
So I don't really feel like I have a favorite. I think both comps are pretty similar, and well, they will be great to watch. If I have to incline to one side, though, I think that maybe the one from MSU is a little bit better, or at least a little bit more convincing to me because of Kaisa. I think that
Mm-hmm.
Kaisa is feast or famine. Don't get me wrong, but her options are much more open than Samira's. Samira
Okay.
misplays once, she's dead. Kaisa misplays once, she can kind of play it off. And I
Right.
think that having an AD carry that doesn't necessarily have to be live or die that easily is probably better. Probably.
Yeah. For sure. But with that, we are going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be in the on the rift of game number 2 of MSU Blue versus Royal Griffin Majesty. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by TDS. We are on the Rift of game number 2. Royal Griffin, Majesty on the red side, MSU Blue on the blue side. We have a bit of an invade coming into MSU Blue here, but it is really well coordinated. We're looking just for vision here. I think this is a perfectly fine invade here. Not going to catch anyone out here. They're just going to be able to walk away.
It's just trading vision for vision because red buff got spotted on the top side for the red team, red buff for the blue team. So it's pretty much trading at this point. But I do think though that MSU getting that extra bit of information, maybe to try and no, I don't want to say calculate too much. Think about where the Hecarim may move around is a good way to try and set up for this Sejuani.
Yeah, for sure. Is now we're getting some trading back and forth in the mid lane here. We have mirrored, I'd say we have opposite starts for these two junglers here. Sejuani is going to be pathing down towards this bot side here, whereas Hecarim is going to be pathing up towards the top. Do you think this is favoring any sort of one particular team? Like, is this really necessary to get Hecarim over to his top half? Do you think we're going to see Hecarim gank the bottom side very early?
Kind of hard to say because I feel like either of these lanes getting ganked is fine. Like any of these two gets ahead, it's not bad by any means. But I'm kind of trying to think which lane getting behind would be the worst. And I feel maybe it is top lane, the one that if the Urgot gets ahead, and that's why we see the Hecarim pathing topside, is probably worse than if the Samira Alistar get behind.
Yeah, this is it looks like Hecarim might actually be going towards the mid lane here, and I don't know. Oh, he's going into the jungle. Does he get spotted out? I feel like a lot of folks they feel like he was spotted out there.
No, I don't think
pathing from Hecarim is very interesting.
I don't think they saw him. I thought he was going to try and steal the jungle from Sejuani because the lanes were pushed. And I thought that was the idea, but Hecarim just backs.
Yeah.
Weird.
So yeah, this is real weird. So I guess Hecarim like started wolves, path towards blue, thought that the crab would spawn around that time and then didn't find the crab and then went into the enemy jungle trying to steal camps but found Sejuani there. So then looked for a gank, but the wave was too pushed in. So now I guess they're going up into the top wave and top side of the map and just clearing out that side there. You're going to be a little bit behind Sejuani after all that. A little bit of an odd start for sure.
Really weird, certainly, but luckily for the side of Rogel, it doesn't impact in any way. They are actually going to even steal the top lane, the bottom lane Scuttle Crab, and Hecarim having red buff and blue buff may end up being more aggressive here to the Sejuani. Oh, yeah. Too late. Yep. Too late, Hecarim.
Smacks looking for, and your deads here has some decent damage to start off this fight here, but really only going to scare them away. They have answers from the mid lane here as well. They lose the crab up on the top half here, so gonna have to walk away. Luckily, camps are still up for RG Smacks here if he still wants to turn this around, and we have some respawns onto the wolves as well. So I'll have to see how they handle this, but some early jungle pathing from Royal Griffin Majesty, not exactly ideal.
So far, it's not the most ideal, like you're pointing out, but at least it does have camps to fall back into, and it's not like the Sejuani will be super far ahead thanks to stealing that Skull Crab over on the bot side. They can maybe set up for something in the mid lane, which for the swing is great if he gets the kill, but I don't think it's going to be that bad either, or that good either.
For sure. Is Amarok getting feared up here? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit quieter of an early game here. Which honestly, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna make a bold claim here. Are you ready for my bold claim?
Okay, let's go for it.
I think this favors MSU Blue. From the way that Royal Griffin was playing game number 1 here, just having a slower early game and not getting a huge fall behind in the early game is going to be huge for them. But here comes a really aggressive play onto end your deads here. First blood comes out to end RG Smacks here. Gingo looking for a little bit more, but not going to be able to find anything just yet. Amarok has roamed down from the mid lane here. You're going to be able to get away. So first blood, red team, bam. Might have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew here, but going to be able to get away. Krug's being secured by the red team here. I don't think they should stick around here for too long. This is not so great positioning for them.
I don't think they will, just because the Hecarim already kind of running away and they are trying to just reset here. But great play overall, really nice play they pull up here. Important the way that they execute on that, because the ward that was on the rocks, right? The Leona uses her Q. That means that now you have a window to try and play, because she doesn't have her full combo. They play off of that really great. They have the first rotation as well with the swing, and they just secure the first blood. It doesn't go to Samira, but it's a pretty good first blood that they are able to obtain, and sets the pace already for this bot side.
Yeah. I mean, once again, a kill onto your jungler is good for the whole team. A kill onto your AD carry is good for the bot lane.
Yeah.
Right? It just depends on how they're going to use this first blood gold and how they're going to be able to transfer it around the map. Now, first dragon, once again, is going to be the Cloud Drake, and we've seen kind of both these teams being rather allergic to picking up that Cloud Drake. So we'll see how long it takes for them to secure the first Drake on this in this game here.
Maybe this time around, because they didn't get even close to the soul, they do try and force it. But I just think that they are going to just force the kills and nothing else.
Yeah.
Feels like much more logical from them. Or normal from them, at least.
Yeah. Hecarim showing up to the bottom lane here, at least showing that he might look for a turret dive here. It's interesting for sure, but I don't know if he should just waste time looking for these dives yet, when like there's no level 6 for Samira, there's no level 6 for Alistar, and he's not level 6 either. He's actually down in XP right now. I think he should just be sticking to his jungle here for sure.
I almost always hate when Hecarims distract themselves from the jungle path. Not saying that it's... That was an attempt.
We got an initiation. Zenith Blade onto the backside here. That's going to be the Q, knocking them into the air. Bam taking a whole bunch of damage. Going to be stunned up as well, but RG Devout is taking a whole bunch of damage in response here. Hecarim coming back down to the bot lane again.
Well, he's level 5 this time, at least.
Yeah. We got the level up. We're looking for it right here. He's going to spot out the ward, so they're going to ping it out. But once again, I think you're right. Like, this Hecarim is just showing up to lanes too much here.
Doesn't even get the ward, so he probably dies here.
Yeah, Smax is taking a whole lot of damage, forced to run for their lives here. But take a look at the difference in jungles here. Hecarim has spent so much time in this bot lane and hasn't been successful at all, but look at what Sejuani is doing in response. Immediately going for this Rift Herald here, going to be able to take it up here, and now Royal Griffin is basically forced into doing this dragon here.
It's good they do decide to answer though. Oh, the play. I think Mordekaiser's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, Shark XYZ, nowhere to go. Pulled into the meat grinder. Gonna be taken down, and they popped Rift Herald up almost immediately, might I add, up in the top lane as well. So they're gonna be able to it might have been a misclick, who knows, because like Sejuani got it and then popped it nearly immediately.
I do think that it makes sense, just because it is onto the Urgot. Having that gold is not bad, but Mordekaiser being alone in the top side when your whole bot lane and jungle is in the dragon, you know this, and you also know that your mid laner is still close to lane. It's a pretty bad call, because you know that you're going to get punished if you move like that. He gets punished and brings back a little bit of gold, actually brings back more gold towards the side of MSU thanks to this kill, and everything that was happening on the bot side ends up not mattering that much, even though it's a pretty big lead in favor of the Samira.
Yeah. And this is why I was saying that, like, this slower game is going to favor MSU Blue based on how Royal Griffin Majesty played that game number 1. They were playing it real fast and loose. Like, they were playing a very aggressive, going for dives when they shouldn't have. And now we're seeing RG Smax, kind of the person I was pointing out from that game number 1, being hyper aggressive, doing it again. Like, he's just ignoring his jungle camps, even though Hecarim farms incredibly quickly and looking for turret dives when he's not even level 6 yet. So, you know, we're seeing more kind of over aggression from Royal Griffin Majesty that's not really paying out in their favor, and they're losing a lot of neutral objectives because of it. And they're losing their timers in the jungle. They're losing pressure that they could be putting out elsewhere. And it's just going to end up favoring MSU Blue if this type of play continues.
Oh They want to dive this, but I don't know about this.
Purple Cow flashes underneath the turret here. Going to be able to use their ultimate in order to get away. RG Devout needs to get away. Has popped the ultimate, so has less damage taken here. Going to use the Zenith Blade there to stun up the Alistar. He's going to be taken low here. The whole blue team is down here. That's going to be the Smoke and Sexy style coming across, but here comes the Swain ultimate. That's going to be big. Amarok is going to be able to find one, and Fox is taken down to half HP here, forced to flash away, but the rest of the team not able to fully follow up onto that there, so it's going to end up being a 1-for-1 down in the bottom lane.
2-for-1 actually, because Alistar died.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Alistar did die. You have to question the decision making there to force the play. They want to play with the Samira, but you don't have vision, you don't have the numbers advantage, and they commit so heavily. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, Bam taking incredibly low, but that's going to be the ultimate coming down from Vex there. Going to be just to take away a little bit of damage, but that's the reset onto Fox here. Can they get the other kill? Amarok, you're going to be able to get the kill, but I think this is still favor for MSU Blue here, and here comes Smaxon from the side again, looking for the kill on the Purple Cow, but there's nothing to grab there.
I think it's 100% favoring MSU, like you were pointing out. They get the kills, they don't lose anything in terms of objectives. At least it's not like they're going to lose here because of the turret still being there and the guys are being able to free farm. And now the lead that this Samira had feels like it's non-existent anymore. 3 kills to this Kai'Sa, and maybe even more if they don't run away from here.
Yeah. This really is like forcing something that isn't there. There's not a play here, but they're looking for it so hard, right? They really need to get a lead for the Samira here because they saw how powerful Ginga was playing in the previous game. And it's just like, you don't need it, right? Look how many camps are up for Hecarim right now. Nearly his entire jungle. I don't think I've seen Hecarim in his own jungle for more than 2 seconds here as they're looking for the dive one more time on the Purple Cow. Going to be able to find the kill and the shutdown, giving it over to Samira here. And this is going to be the double kill for Ginga here. This comes out in their favor, finally getting a good kill for themselves. 900 gold in the lead.
But without trying to be too heavy on the play, although maybe they get the kill here on Sejuani, but that could have been done without the Hecarim. Hecarim really didn't provide much in that play apart from being an extra mid boy. That's pretty much. He could have farmed his camps like you were pointing out, try and be an actual menace in the game, because right now he's just an ulti bot. That's it.
Yeah, he's super far behind in comparison to his jungle opponent, right? You take a look here, the Divine Sunderer is not finished yet, but we have the Sunfire Aegis finished for And Your Deads here. Now, granted, they have foregone boots. Ginga might actually be in some trouble here. Purple Cow already doing so much damage. This is going to be a lifeline shield diving underneath the turret. I don't think you wanted this. Going to be able to pop that ultimate, but the shutdown comes through for Kai'Sa here. But finally, going to be able to find the kills. Come from the backside. RG smacks down to the bot lane one more time here, dodging around these abilities from Vex.
That is such a good ultimate
coming across. The fear is good. RG smacks is going to be able to find one kill for himself, and Swain is going to be able to find the other.
Samira did kill herself, but they respond greatly this time around on the side of Royal. They get 3 kills, they get this dragon now more than likely, and that was a pretty good ultimate by RG Smax. This time around hits every target like he needed to, position it for the ulti of the Swain, and that secures the man advantage. This is the sort of plays that I want to see from RG Smax, without discounting farming.
Yeah, as now Shark XYZ in some trouble in the top lane. Glacial Fissure is going to come down here into the Shadow Realm. Is And Your Deads and Shark XYZ. He's flashing forward onto the Sejuani here, but I don't think you want that here. The hand comes out, but he doesn't move forward in order to give them some space. The shield comes out. It's so incredibly close. They're diving underneath the turret. Dr. Goon picks up the kill in the top lane.
It almost felt like Shark could have survived that, but it doesn't happen like that. Kai'Sa, though,
yeah, one more time underneath the bot lane. RG Smax comes in for the kill secure there. They're going to be able to pick that one up after securing the Drake.
And they respond accordingly. Lose 1 in top side, get 1 kill on bot side. Really nice from Royal responding like this. They do lose the first turret, and it goes on to the Urgot, which we talked about being one of the champions that you have to kind of be scared of. But at the same time, this Samira is super strong. Mythic completed, has so much gold in her favor, and they could get even more now. Okay, Vex runs away. Nice.
Yeah, they're still looking for it, though. RG Devout coming through here. Going to be able to headbutt, pulverize over the wall here. Pops the ultimate from the Swain. Fox doesn't have a whole lot of places to go. Amarok is going to be the kill, picking up the kill in the mid lane there as the bot lane has come up to the mid lane to help shove out this wave here.
And so far, this game again, Ginga and RG Devout have been so good together. The bot lane duo doing so much to carry a lot of the weight for this early game of the team, and have been really good. Like they are deserving of the goal that they have gotten. And if this is how the side of Royal wants to play and try and carry out the game, I think that it makes complete sense.
Yeah, for sure. As this game continues to be in Royal Griffin Majesty's favor. I am blanking really hard on the name for certain.
It is the
It's
name,
it's
Royal Griffin Majesty, yeah.
yeah. It was, for a minute, I was like, is it Royal Majesty Griffin? Is it their Royal Majesty the Griffin? Like, who
Their
knows?
Royal Majesty.
Regardless, it's some combination of words, letters, and numbers. Here we go. That's going to be Ginga dived onto here by Bam. That's going to be the ultimate coming across here as well. The stun is good, taken incredibly low here. Going to be able to find that kill. That's going to be the good meat grinder there from Dr. Goon. He's insanely powerful up in the top lane here. Ginga doesn't have a whole lot of places to go. That's going to be oh, yeah, she's still in it. Going to be able to find the kill onto Sejuani at the end of that. 2 for 2 up in the top lane. Yeah, Swain, you gotta go. I think you got a business elsewhere. I think you gotta go water your cat. I think you're good.
If Swain was just 2 steps closer to that fight, I think that Rojo wins that. But he wasn't. So it's a pretty good win for this side of MSU. They shut down Ginga once again. I think the gold went to the Kai'Sa, so good news for them. But this Amira really is a big issue. Even with them committing so heavily, it almost felt like they couldn't do it. It was really, really close, but they did it at the end. Luckily.
Collector has been purchased for the Samira here. A good lethality item to get that little bit of extra damage. But you know what? I'm gonna once again. It's critical Kari tonight. You know, Shinkari is not usually this critical, but you know what? I'm looking for an LDR. Where's the LDR? Where's the Blade of the Rune? Where's the tank damage? Where's the beef? You know, there's a whole lot of beef on the enemy team. Oh, Shark XYZ taking a whole bunch of damage here, but Dr. Goon in some trouble as here comes Smacks in from the side. Amarok looking for something over where the blast going over the wall is going to be giving them back into the fight here. Amarok is going to be healing up a whole lot off of Dr. Goon's here, but the meat grinder is coming through for the fear onto RG Smacks as well. Dr. Goon just heals up way too much. You can't stop this meat drain. That's going to be Urgot picking up the kill down in the bot lane there. 7-0-1 now on this Urgot. Unstoppable. Holy moly.
They did it so well. And this is the counterpart of what we saw from the side of Royal. They fed their AD carry. We fed, or MSU fed their top laner, and it's paying off amazingly. Can they kill the Bex here? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, underneath the turret. Going to be able to get it.
Not even
need to spend the turret. They get the ultimate. They get the turret up there. They don't need to spend the ultimate. But crucially, they lost 2 turrets in the mid lane.
2 turrets and got an extra push even. So
yeah.
Really, I don't know if that trade is worth at all. Honestly, I would say it isn't, because you just gave so much free gold to this Kai'Sa, and you're already losing topside.
Yeah, as now Smacks in some trouble here, way down in levels here, down in gold as well, trying to fight this Kai'Sa 2 levels above him, going to go down, and this is crucial because in 20 seconds, the next Drake is going to spawn.
Look, when your Hecarim is behind 20 CS, or 23 to be more exact, to a Sejuani in the enemy jungle, you know that something has gone completely wrong.
Yes.
Like, something is really bad if a Hecarim jungle is behind a Sejuani in the jungle as well.
Yes.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Yes. Once again, Hecarim is a power farmer. He farms the jungle so incredibly quick, but we've seen Smack show up to these lanes so aggressively. Just respawn, lane, respawn, lane, respawn, lane, over and over again from RG Smacks here. And a lot of the times, it didn't really get him as much as he'd like, right? So now, you know, he's far behind in terms of levels. And even now, he's not even looking to where he has open camps. He's just looking to where he can find vision control and where he can find kills.
They really need to try and make as much use as possible of RG Smacks. Particularly try and play with him and the Samira close by. Because Samira is really your main shining light at this point in the game. You have to play with her being the power point. And maybe Hecarim dies here again.
Yeah, okay, gonna get dodged the Zenith Blade here, gets over the wall here, but they have to be careful of Dr. Goon. This level 14, Urgot, highest level in the game, most kills, tied for most kills as well. You gotta respect it. And yeah, I don't think I would want to stand around there either.
I don't think either. A smart decision to not up the fight there. If it's a 1v5, in the sense of the one is the Urgot and you're the 5, then it's okay. But if
Yeah.
you're going into an equal numbers fight, this Urgot is going to create a lot of chaos.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I feel like Urgot still has that potential to 1v5, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, if
kind
he
of
if he
feels like
gets
that, yeah.
if he pulls someone into the meat grinder, that's a huge fear that he's then able to convert into more kills. So that's really big.
And buys time for maybe the team to finally collapse into the play. So just feels such a hard decision at this point in the game if you're not careful enough. Vex.
Yeah. Now Vex, here comes the ultimate down from Amarok here. Fox doesn't have a whole lot of place to go, and Amarok's going to be picking up that kill up in the top lane there. Smack's first support as well. Looks like he's just going to be grabbing up the Gromp.
Really good kill they get. It's away from the Urgot. The Urgot doesn't really accomplish anything in this play. He's just by himself. And you also give time now for Shark to farm by himself. He's getting a little bit of farm back to him. He's trying to get towards that mythic. And as long as you don't feed anything into the Urgot, it's completely fine.
Yeah. Agreed. Again, Smacks finding out Purple Cow here. That's going to be the onslaught of shadows here.
That is such a good
ult
ulti.
from Swain over here, but the Swain does not have the ultimate here. They're just going to dive forward. Purple Cow is going to be able to find that kill there. And your Deads is going to be the next target here. Headbutt pulverized. They got the slow field as well. Ginga dives in, looking for a little bit more damage here. They don't have the smoke and sexy style. There it's going to be hopping forward here, but it's going to be stunned up and interrupted, dashing forward, looking to try to survive in this fight, but it's in between 3 members here. This Kai'Sa does so much damage, and Vex is not going to let off the go button either. Amarok is in some trouble, trying to kite away, but look at the bottom lane here. Mordekaiser split pushing, but they're grabbing Baron in response.
Yeah, this may be Baron. Sejuani will spawn in 17 seconds. So, although Hikari's here. Swain, he died so early, so he actually will be here for the
Swain
fight.
has ultimate.
Does he have? No, he doesn't have Sun yet.
Yeah,
though, so.
yeah. He has it available. Okay, there's the ultimate pop, but he's taken already so much damage from Dr. Goon that he's forced to flash away here. But he scared them off the Baron.
Oh, they killed the Leona as well.
Yeah, spotted out Bam there. They're going to be able to find a cheeky kill for themselves. RG Smacks is able to get some gold for themselves here. As yeah, they're not able to fully capitalize on that Vex backing there, not able to stop those backs, so they're just going to have to back away here. Not able to get that tier 2 turret down to the bot lane either, but they are scaring them off of the Baron, and that is the big W for the red team there.
100%. I was thinking if the Swain had Sunjas or Stopwatch, I can see him just flashing in and trying to go for the play there. Especially with Hecarim coming in, with teleport maybe prompted for Shark. I can see that play working out. But like you were pointing out, they commit to the play in the way that they stop the important objective. The Baron doesn't go down. They almost get a turret, and they got a lot of free time for some of the other members. Yes, Amir died, which is the sad part, but all in all, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah. Now have some big bounties over on the blue team here. MSU Blue is up about 3,000 gold here, so they have a pretty good lead at this stage of the game, but you shouldn't count the other team out just yet. They have been team fighting relatively well and relatively often, so they have to keep that in mind here. But, you know, this Dr. Goon and Purple Cow are so insanely powerful at this stage. You really have to be careful how you choose your engagements here.
Funny how the Kai'Sa was really not in that position. He smited away from the Swain. Okay.
Yeah.
He really is far behind though.
Yeah, RG Smacks looking for an engagement here. Has popped that movement speed increase. Shark XYZ coming in from the side as well. Has finally finished that Sunfire Aegis. Has to use the Onslaught of Shadows defensively here. And now they're fighting Dr. Goon. Good good ultimate on the side there. They're still looking for a little bit more. Bam is in the middle of the side. Can they get the smoke and sexy style? There's the ultimate being popped for Samira. They've already gotten 2. Can they get more? And your Deads is looking real low and real juicy as that's the triple kill for the Samira here. Ginga is coming in for more. Here comes Smacks, ready to feed the kills over to the AD carry here. Dr. Goon looking for the return kills here. Dashes forward. Quadra kill. Pentakill for Ginga. Pentakill for the Samira. Holy moly.
It's unofficial though, but who the hell cares? I consider it a penta, and the Samira is just flying around, destroying people up. She didn't have cleanse in that fight even, and it still works out amazingly. They get the teamfight win. They get this dragon. They don't have enough members, maybe, to go for the Baron buff, but this is what they needed to do, and Ginga is popping off.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they were hoping for the whole game, right? Let's just get our Samira to pop off. Let's get Samira a big lead. She is a real flashy character. There's finally the LDR. Thank you. Oh my God. I feel like I've been waiting a million years to see some tank death shred for the Samira here. But yeah, this is a big swing for them here, and they're finally able to even out this gold at least a little bit. There's only 600 gold that now separates these two teams here, and that's what's going to be important for this next parts of the map, especially now that we're looking at Baron as the only objective left on the map right now.
And when you think about it, that wasn't even that good of a fight for the side of Royal. That fight started with Hecarim ulting away, and that they still make it work out. It's a pretty dangerous situation if that's how a winning fight goes for Royal, because then everything needs to not only be perfect, but even better than that for the side of MSU to try and play it off accordingly. They still have to kill the Samira, but it's just looking so hard at this point.
Yeah.
Especially now with Lance even.
Yeah, Samira is also having that LDR and now a BF sword as well. I honestly, if it were me, I would sell the Infinity Edge and just get a BF sword and just have a Guardian Angel in that last slot. Honestly,
I think she's going for that in the as the next item, but yeah, like at this point, probably would make sense. But they get Baron really fast.
Yeah, they get Baron for basically free here. Solar Flare comes out into the pit here. The rest of the team shows up. Headbutt, Pulverize. Amarok does have that ultimate available. Keep your eyes on the Samira here, who's already gotten one kill. That's the Smoke and Sexy style coming across. They've gotten 3. Don't do it to him again. Triple kill. Let's see if they're able to get it. Mordekaiser picks up the kill there. No pentakill for Samira this time, but they got the Quadra. Report Shark XYZ for stealing the penta here as Samira cleans house on MSU Blue.
I respect Shark. He did what he had to do. Steal the penta. You don't give up pentas. But Samira anyway got a penta and a quadra essentially. Destroys the team fight, and they should be the game-winning push. They have they have the Baron buff minions. They have a Samira with 5 items, and they just simply have enough to take it down at this point. Oh, they are not going to commit. They could have. Realistically, they could have, but respecting timers, I see.
Yeah, I think the respecting timers is probably the safer play here. I think they have a pretty comfortable lead, but they really haven't cashed in on it yet. So just shoving out these waves in the top lane here, getting some more turrets, so that when these backs happen, they're able to cash in a whole lot more. This is now nearly a 6,000 gold lead in their favor, and they have the empowered backs as well, so they shouldn't be in too much trouble. But Swain still on that end of the map and is being hunted down a little bit here.
I was expecting.
Really close there.
Poor Vampire tried to get that consolation kill just in case, but doesn't get it. Also, quickly to mention, it wasn't a Guardian Angel. It is a Bloodthirster, so they didn't hurt you, Shinkari, but it's fine. It's fine. This works also, I think.
Yeah, so Bloodthirster is just another item to just keep them alive in the middle of the team fight here.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Guardian Angel is just better than Infinity Edge at this stage. Like, your damage should just be tank busting, because they just have so many huge HP bars on their team.
Well, it's between
that's it.
killing Kai'Sa twice or having to go through her heal.
Yeah.
Which I would think killing Samira twice is harder. But
yeah, I mean, she's got so much self-healing that, oh my god, Dr. Goon can't even walk up to Samira right now. But yeah, I mean, but that's the thing for me. Like, if you're already this far ahead and people are having a hard time like getting through all of your self-healing or even through your team, that like the Guardian Angel is the insult to injury.
It's pretty much saying, you thought you could kill me once, try twice.
Yeah. Do it again.
Do it again. But yeah, I like this decision as well. Just go for the damage, kill them, and laugh at them at the same time.
You haven't been able to deal with one of my Blue Eyes White Dragon, so what hope is there against 2?
Imagine he had 3.
Yeah. I mean, the third Blue Eyes White Dragon is both the shields that Samira gets at the front and end of her health bar. Like the Bloodthirster shield at the beginning and the Lifeline shield at the end. That's the third Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh no. Leona is taken down there. Now Samira's diving onto the backside here. They got a double. They got a triple. Oh no,
What?
they're doing it to him again. Quadra kill for the Samira. Can
Oh,
they get the
the
penta?
penta.
Absolutely. It's official this time. The second penta for Ginga here as Royal Griffin Majesty here cleans up through this game here, are able to come out 2-0 victory over MSU Blue. What a flashy end to that game.
And both games really on the back of Ginga, playing really well, really aggressive, destroying the enemy AD carry and the rest of the team in the process. Great game. I think that MSU tried playing off of Dr. Goon and it worked out until a certain point, but when the Samira just exploded into a teamfight, it was almost impossible to deal with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this was a close match. I think you're right. It was a close match up until it wasn't, right? I think it was
Exactly.
just like one solid team fight for Samira where they were able to get that pentakill for them, setting them so far ahead. The LDR was huge, the Bloodthirster was huge in that final fight. And we even taken a look at the bit of the stats at the end here, and we see 42,000 gold in the 42,000 damage for the Samira here. 10,000 over the next person who was
Not even
Dr.
that
Goon
much,
on the
right?
Urgot. Yeah.
Not even that much damage. It's just such a heavy 80 carry performance, if
Mm-hmm.
I say it like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this was definitely a real well played game by Royal Griffin Majesty here
Yeah,
as we are and but you know it's not without some things to say. I think that like MSU Blue was still playing this game like relatively fair for the most part, and they were playing around their power points really well. Um, they did a good job of like controlling this early game and really countering a lot of the over aggression from RG Smacks really well. Like this Kaisa played this early game insanely well. And like they have the second most kills in the game at 11, 6, and 4. Their damage wasn't as high as Urgot because Urgot was just super far ahead of everyone else. But man, like MSU Blue, if you are the team that they're going to play next, which I believe Spacey Groove, I think. No, they're going to be playing Mythic Omega. So they're going to be playing one of the
okay.
Mythic teams here. Don't count them out just yet. This is a team that if they're able to get some breathing room, right, they're still able to play really well, right? They did really
Exactly.
good punishes onto RG Smacks. They had some good punishes onto Ginga as well. Like this is definitely looking to be a team that you have to keep your eyes on for sure in this bracket.
100%. They did a pretty good job, and their top side seems to be something to be worried about because in the first game
Yeah.
it was also their top side that kind of kept them there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was really well played by both teams, but at the end of the day, there can only be one victor. Tonight, it's going to be Royal Griffin Majesty taking home the W and moving on through the bracket here. They're going to be fighting, I believe, let's see, they're going to be taking on RCG Abyssal Nightmare in their next round. So good luck to
Based on
good luck to y'all as
Nightmare.
you go on to your next rounds. But thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, press that follow button. We have League of Legends active for you to watch nearly every single day. If you watch nearly every single day, and if you're feeling generous, press that subscribe button. It helps keeps the lights on here at Style Esports. But from everyone here in the entire live broadcast crew, TDS, my co-caster for this evening, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next match. Bye bye.